So at this point, we've come to expect fireworks in the month of July when it comes to recruiting, and several institutions have really been on impressive runs, but today, we need to focus in on the Miami Hurricanes because their impressive tear continued yesterday by adding in a 5-star edge rusher out the state of Washington who will now be playing the rest of his high school football in Florida at IMG, Jayden Wayne. Today, we need to talk about what Wayne gives the Miami Hurricanes, Miami's impressive recruiting run in general, and why Miami fans need to be excited. But before we do, as always, y'all know the drill. I need to hear from you. Hop down to the comments, Y for yes, N for no. Are you excited that Miami adds in a 5-star edge rusher? And let me know what you're thinking. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell notification as I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it. And if you enjoyed the content, like and comment down below. But having said all that, let's jump right into this because this is a big win for the Miami Hurricanes as they continue trending up because this month has been very good to Miami. Jaden Rashada committed to the Hurricanes at the tail end of June, and ever since, it has been a very impressive run. Mario Cristobal is an elite recruiter. We know this. This staff is full of really good recruiters, but even then, the results have been impressive even when we take into account the quality of recruiters that are present. But today, let's focus in first on Jayden Wayne, the 5-star edge. And I understand there's been some controversy as his stars, but for the purposes of this, we're going to call him a 5-star. I got the opportunity to watch him play on a 7-on-7 where he was playing mainly offense, and even then, you could tell this guy is unbelievably athletic, and I absolutely consider him to be a 5-star because he stands 6'5", 245 pounds per 24/7 Sports as a junior, and this is before he goes to IMG. And we know what IMG is. It's one of the premier institutions in all of high school football with premier coaching, and that's an area where we're going to have to watch what Jayden Wayne does because he's going to be surrounded by top-tier talent. One such name is another edge rusher, Samuel Mpemba, who currently has a crystal ball to the Miami Hurricanes, and it's going to be interesting to see if Miami can land them both now that they're teammates and if Jayden Wayne can get in his ear and really secure this. But that moves me forward because we can talk about the unbelievable explosiveness Jayden Wayne has. Flip on the tape and you're going to see someone with bend, someone with speed, someone with strength, someone that is really going to be a prospect we want to know about. But what does this mean in general for Miami? And we've talked about the recruiting run they've gone on. College football with Jonathan Lewis and I sat down for 30 minutes and talked about the state of Florida recruiting, both with the Florida Gators and the Miami Hurricanes, in which case we poured on what Miami was doing for 15 or 16 minutes, really praising everybody in the room. But even then, we still need to give credit where it's due. Because it's one thing to try and get in these top-tier battles, and Miami was really good in getting in top battles. It's another to win the battles, and right now, Miami is doing just that. Because the Jaden Rashada commitment was a big deal for the Miami Hurricanes. Look, if we're talking about prospects that move the needle, Jaden Rashada is a prospect that moves the needle. And what do I mean when I say move the needle? Well, it's the exact same topic we were talking about in that joint video with College Football Jonathan Lewis and I when we were saying that Jaden Rashada was a prospect because he's a blue-chip quarterback, because he's infectious. Other players want to play with him. We've seen this consistently. Malachi Nelson at USC, Arch Manning at Texas. Usually when you have a blue-chip quarterback, there's an avalanche on the back end, and it certainly doesn't have to be a quarterback. I'm going to be doing a video tomorrow breaking down some other players that moved the needles for recruiting classes and proving the point that it doesn't have to be a quarterback. You just have to have a prospect that moves the needle, that makes other people excited for your class. Jaden Rashada was that. Francis Mawanoa is just that, and I believe Jayden Wayne is also a prospect that moves the needle. So Miami is getting guys that are not only set to help their actual football ability in terms of what they get on the field, but also are going to help Miami's recruiting because they're guys that are infectious. They're guys other people are going to want to play with. And if we really take it to the top, it far exceeds any one recruit because Miami hired a coach that moves the needle in Mario Cristobal. We know Mario Cristobal is an elite recruiter. He proved that at Oregon, and he's proved that at every stint he's ever been at. But at Oregon, he was going into California and pulling a Kayvon Thibodeau. He was pulling a Justin Flo. He was getting 5 stars left, right, and center. So whenever he continues to do so at Miami, I'm not super surprised because I've known that he's an elite recruiter. The thing that Miami gives him that Oregon didn't is he's coming home to Miami. He's coming home, and that's going to resonate with not only prospects, but their families, because he's the hometown guy coming back to a major brand in college football that wants more than anything to be back on the level they once were, both from a standpoint of the athletic director, the administration, and the fan base. They're ready to get to the destination they know they should be at. And Mario Cristobal looks to be the guy that could take them there. And that is going to resonate with recruits. We can talk about how Jaden Rashada moves the needle. He does. We can talk about Francis Mauanoa moving the needle. He does. Jayden Wayne moving the needle. He does. But at the top of it all is the main guy, Mario Cristobal, who absolutely is an impact hire. We've seen it thus far. And furthermore, it's not even just about Mario Cristobal. We can talk about Josh Gaddis. We can talk about Mirabal. This is a staff that is put together with confidence, and it's a staff that I'm going to be watching closely because at the end of the day, the recruiting results are showing now. But if Miami can go and put together a successful season and really look good in the ACC, watch out. And make no mistake, I'm not saying Miami has to go and win the ACC or it's a disappointing season. I'm just saying they have to be a team that's showing notable improvement from last year. If they can do that, regardless of what the record says, they're going to catch the attention of even more recruits, as now the recruits can see that what's being built in theory is now carrying over to something tangible. And that's where this gets really interesting. But at the end of the day, Miami is still in a ton of top-tier battles for 5 stars, such as Samson Okunlola, such as Samuel Mpimba, and such as Hakeem Williams. So I don't think this is going to slow down anytime soon. They have a blue-chip quarterback. They have a 5-star offensive tackle. They look to add in another 5-star offensive tackle, and they have a 5-star defensive end. This is a really solid first class for Mario Cristobal as he takes over his hometown job of the Miami Hurricanes. Hop down to the comments. Let me know what you're thinking about this. That's it. See ya.